So this is really interesting. It's a remarkable piece of technology that could change the game when it comes to depression. And what we want to talk about is this device that can maybe replace pills. Is that true?
Well, it depends who you're talking to, but this is sort of a last resort for some people. This man I spoke with considered this a last-ditch effort. So this treatment is still in the trial phase. It's extremely promising, though. This is called deep brain stimulation. It's essentially pulses that retrain your brain.
I've taken every medication that's ever been made for depression and every combination thereof.
A mental illness that can be debilitating and lonely at times. Doug Rickle wasn't only diagnosed with severe depression.
I just sat in my apartment, my little apartment, wherever it was, blacked out the windows and self-medicated constantly just to get rid of some of the pain.
Doug's system was resistant to medication. His uphill battle spanned more than 30 years. During that time, Doug felt he was out of options, even attempting suicide more than once.
All 3 times that I did it where I took enough medication that could have killed me, but I called the ambulance all 3 times.
Even electric shock therapy failed.
Most people have 3 to 5 rounds of it, and I had over 25.
94, 104, 109.
In a last-ditch effort, Doug became part of a University Health Network study last February. It's an experimental treatment called deep brain stimulation, where a pacemaker-like device is implanted to activate a key area of the brain.
So it involves the implantation of electrodes into the brain. Then there's a battery or a pulse generator, which is implanted below the collarbone, which allows continuous stimulation of the brain.
Each day was the same for Doug. Dark, depressing, even agonizing. But about a year after the procedure, he woke up one morning and suddenly everything was a little brighter.
Everything was completely different. A complete miracle. I go up to a flower and smell it, and watching the kids play, and just wanting to reach out and talk to people.
You also see improvements in quality of life as well as return to work function in these individuals. So it's very gratifying as a doctor to see these individuals transform.
The technology has been around for more than 20 years for illnesses like Parkinson's. It's only recently been used for psychiatric disorders. The 11-hour surgery has a 60% success rate. Doug is hopeful it's a long-term fix.
You know, the one fear you have is it going to last? My whole life I dropped a penny, it was going to be, tails. Now I drop a penny and every time it's heads.
I have to ask you, because the doctor mentioned that he's got a battery under his collarbone here. Does that mean he's got wires all the way up to his head?
He does. He explained it to us. It sort of starts at the top of his skull here, and he can actually feel the wires run down and behind his ear and then through to the chest.
Does he have to change the battery?
He will have to go in for regular tweaks, as he called it, and it depends on the intensity. They can sort of turn it up and turn it down. His is quite high, so chances are he'll have to go in for an outpatient procedure and change the battery in about a year's time.